slaps it down.
Right, so I'm now going to review the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City movie. I was going to get some gameplay of Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I noticed that I had some Dead Space 2 gameplay left over, and I thought, I can't be bothered playing RE2 again, so here we are. It's not got the holdover with the old ones, dude, you know that? I've played both of them once, both the remakes, and I'm like, I'm done. So without further ado, we'll get into the spoilered review. Did you like that? I like that too. Lovely. Now, upon watching this film, I was ready to hate the bollocks out of it. Or off of it, I should say. But I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Which I'm quite surprised at, because it is a steaming pile of whale spunk, sea salty goodness, you know what I'm saying? And it's such a strange movie. It's like, we'll have all this fan service and all the bits from the games in there, the first two games, and then we'll have bits from Code Veronica, but what we'll do is we'll remix it all and put it on the wrong place. So you're like, yay, reference, wrong place. Fucked it. Why do that? Why say in like interviews and articles and fucking what have you that this is going to be closer to the games? And in a lot of respects it is closer to the games. But that's like saying that Harrison Ford still has that youthful embodiment of Indiana Jones. It's just not fucking true, is it? It's just not true. Well, it is to a degree, because you're like, oh, he looks like Indiana Jones, but he's 90-year-old nearly. This looks like a Resident Evil game, but what's that doing here? Why is Lisa Trevor in the orphanage? Why is she not in the mansion? She looks shite in this. She just looks like a woman with a fucking potato sack over her head. And the hair coming through one of the eye holes is just... It gives off a goofy parody riff to this. It just, like, I don't take it seriously. I mean, could you imagine if Lisa Trevor came out with a wee bit of hair hanging out the eye, but the mask's also got lipstick on it, and she's wearing a fucking party hat? Do you know, it's just, it gives off the wrong message, and it looks cheap. I don't know, some of the makeup looked fine, other makeup in this just looked fucking cheap. And then we've got the casting, and I was always iffy in the casting right from the beginning, and I've got videos to say what I felt about the casting, which was mostly okay, which I'm now actually, it's more like 50% okay. Like Leon, not Leon, doesn't he act like Leon, doesn't he look like Leon, the whole backstory is gone, like his dad got him into the fucking RPD because he was a bit shite, so he needed help for his old paw. It's just, no, he's like a deadbeat alcoholic guy, and it's like, come on. And then you've got Jill, who is just nothing like Jill. She doesn't look like Jill, she doesn't fucking act like Jill. It's sort of hinted at that she's in a sort of fucking love triangle with Chris and fucking Wesker. It's really quite subtle, but it's still there, because there's a bit when Claire just comes into the town and you're like, oh, Chris, are you still pining after Jill? And he's like, what the fuck are you break into my house for? You know, lads, you know, I think I knock on the door, and she breaks into her brother's house. He's a fucking copper. You could have gone downstairs and shot her dead. Oh, that would have been a fucking blessing, compared to what the Claire we got. It's like Claire, a lovable character. She's 19 in Resident Evil 2. She looks about 30 in this. That's no the actress's fault though, they just who they've picked to play the part. I thought it was an alright choice, but she's a complete cow in this movie. She's just unlikable from the minute she fucking wobbles onto screen, and you're like, fucking hell, man. They two growing up in the Raccoon City orphanage is fine, because their parents die, and that's canon in the games. They don't really go into it any more than that. I know there's books, novelizations, I don't give a fuck about all that. I'm coming from a standpoint of playing the games. I could have missed something. I could have, right? But I don't think I did. I think I got everything story-wise. Fuck. I don't think we're ever really going to get a good Resident Evil movie. We very rarely ever get a good video game movie, because there's too many... I think there's too many fingers and too many pies, and there's always some dickhead trying to change it for no good reason other than, well, I am a director and I want some of my vision. Mate, you're making a movie about Resident fucking Evil. You tamper with this too much in any way and you're going to get shot down. And look what's happening at the prick that made this. So like, he's fucking getting called all sorts. because he basically lied to a degree. I mean, alright, you've got fan servicey bits for the games, but as I was saying, they're on the wrong bit, they're on the wrong place. You get the cool helicopter crash like you see in the second game, only it crashes into the mansion and it's Brad and he's dead already, and you're like, well, there's not going to be a nemesis fight in this fucking series of movies, not from what we want. I mean, I want the fucking the stalking of Jill Valentine and Brad Vickers through the start of what would have been a Resident Evil Nemesis movie, but they've destroyed Raccoon Village, and it's not a town, it's Raccoon fucking Village, right? There's about 200 people living there. There's probably more people living in my arse than there is living in that fucking town. And they've destroyed it, and it's not new, it's like an underground destruction thing. It's like, what the fuck? So you're not going to get a fucking Nemesis movie. You're not going to get an RE3 movie in any fucking shape. The planned sequel for this, which I doubt it will get, is meant to be following the lines of Code Veronica, which focusing one fucking game at a time. And that's another big thing, is this just tries to cram far too much into the one movie. There's no need for it at all. There's some really good bits, there's some really awful bits. I mean, take for instance at the start of the film where you've got the truck driver who hits somebody, Claire's in the cab with him, hits somebody, and the dog licks up the blood of the person that's been scalped by the truck, and then they get up and disappear. There's like, what the fuck, what happened? It's because they're a zombie, right? So even though I think a fucking massive articulated lorry like that scalping somebody at full speed, I think their head would probably have popped. At the very least, all their bones would have been shattered, so they wouldn't have got up and walked away. They couldn't have. I mean, you see that in other zombie movies, any zombies that have had like injuries that would paralyse a normal human, paralyses them as well. But anyway, they got up and walk away, and the dogs lick the blood, and then you see the dog salivating. Now that salivating part, that's a rabies thing. So the dog bites the driver after they've dropped off Claire, and then the driver turns and crashes his truck, which is fine. Happens a different place, happens right in front of the RPD. Like I say, the whole fucking layout of the town is different. It doesn't look like a city anymore, it is a town. And the driver gets out the truck and just sort of casually walks in, completely on fire. And you've got Jennifer fucking whatever her face is, Crush playing, and I'm like, could you not play a decent 90s tune, like something other than that shite pop music? And it just ruins the whole scene, not because of the pop music, but the way the whole thing is carried out. You look at him and he stoats in and he's like, what the fuck's going on here? Leon's not paying attention because he's at the front desk, and Irons shoots the creature dead. There's all the right brothers go and lock that gate. So you're like, well, what? Do you know about this motherfucker? But there are scenes in other films and TV series that do that same thing, only far better. Far better. I'll give you a couple of examples. You've got both the Zombieland movies, where you've got the intros and there's the Metallica tunes playing over it, and you see the outbreak in the first movie and they're battering all the zombies, and that really worked. Sequels get something similar when they're going to the White House and they're fucking scalping all these zombies. And another good example of this is Dead Set, when they play a Mika song. At least I think the guy's name's Mika. It's a really awful pop song, but in the context that it's being used, when the outbreak reaches the Big Brother studio and the Big Brother house, and they're all running about getting fucking munched to this cheery tune, it really worked. It was done the right way. But in this one, it's a fuck up after a fuck up. And then Irons is not going to find out what the fucking alarms and the tuner are about. They're air raid sirens. So something's went wrong somewhere, and then he tries to escape, and then Umbrella are at every exit shooting cunts. You're like, fair enough, that's fine, I like that bit. And then they reach the mansion and they're looking for Bravo team, but the Bravo team aren't STARS members, they're just coppers. They're just in a jeep, and the jeep's been overturned. So that's not even fucking close to the original story. Bravo team were a part of STARS, not just normal police, and they were in a helicopter that crashed because it was tampered with. So why couldn't you had like a burnt out husk of a helicopter? I don't understand. I don't get the changes. They're needless changes. And then they get into the mansion, and it's really good. That I think the mansion scenes are the best scenes in the film. See if they just have focused on the first movie, They could have had a really slow-paced, dark, tense, horror shooting game movie type thing. Alright, no game, but you know what I mean. It could have had its tense moments, could have had its action moments. You could have had a tyrant in it, which we still don't have. Still not done the fucking tyrant at all. I can't fathom it. I don't get it. Why can't you? People are wanting to see an on-screen tyrant since the first Resident Evil movie came out back in, what was it, 2000, 2001? So it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck's your problem? Aye, and then fucking all hell breaks loose in the mansion, and I really liked it. Richard gets eaten by a pack of zombies. Even though before they head to the mansion, Jill's like that to him, what would you rather have happen to you? Would you rather be killed by a giant snake or killed by a giant shark? You're like, why even set that up if you're not going to even try and follow it through? Although I think a big giant fucking snake might have looked a bit goofy, but they could have made the shark thing work. And I think even though he doesn't get killed by a shark, a big creature would have been more satisfying than a pack of fucking zombies. And then you've got Wesker's betrayal, which is just the weakest. It's like, yes, Jill, I was saving up money to leave you all behind because this town's fucked. You're like, well, if the town's not getting any work in it, why would anybody stay? And like, the whole town's owned by Umbrella, and Umbrella moved out years ago, but they've been deliberately poisoning the people of the town. For what reason? Hardly covering their tracks, is it? Had it been an accidental leak, I could have, yes, I could have fucking jammed with that, but it's deliberate. It's like, well, what was wrong with having infected rats? I don't mind wee changes here and there, but when you have massive fundamental changes to the plot from the game you're supposed to be adapting, it's like if they'd fucking had Aragorn drop the ring in Mount Doom rather than Frodo. You're like, well, basically the end is the same. Yes, the ring does get destroyed in Mount Doom. What the fuck's Aragorn doing there? You're like, why? I can't, it's fucking annoying and boring, actually. It's boring because you just knew this was going to be a total fuck up. And then they get to the lab and it is Nest. But it's no nest, it's a fucking garden shed. That's about the size of it. They filmed this in some cunt's fucking basement. Fucking wine cellar, and put a fucking operating table in it and a couple of cupboards. Oh, this is a big fucking Umbrella lab. Get fucked. Birkin being in charge of the orphanage as well. That's actually a change I didn't mind. Then you've got Sherry in there, and you've got is it Annette, and they might as well not have even been in the movie. Or fucking used they were. Annette says about 3 lines and gets shot in the head by Wesker. And then fucking wee Sherry points a gun at him. And Sherry's got black hair in this. I mean, come on to fuck. Quite clearly she's a blonde. Fucking, it's just wee changes like that. I just can't fathom it. And Birkin's blonde, but his wife's no, so obviously, Jesus Christ. My throat's going a wee bit here, so I'm not going to talk for too much longer. It's a mess. It's a mess. Even coming in not knowing what Resident Evil is, you will struggle to follow any of what the fuck's going on, because it happens at that fucking quicker pace. And another good bit of the movie is the liquor. The liquor's well done, but it happens in the orphanage rather than the fucking police station for some reason. See, it's just, they've changed everything. I mean, the front of the police station looks fine, but none of the rest of it fits. Same with the mansion. The main hallway, the foyer part, staircase looks great. Then they go off into just random bits of another house. You'd at least think they would have done the dining hall. You'd at least have thought they had Barry Burton in this. Should have made the first movie just based on the first game. That would have been great. Just fucking scrap this and start again. This reeks of fucking IP hanging on to. Don't make enough of this movie. You'll need to fucking, I mean, when was the last Resident Evil movie? It was a number of years ago now. 2-3 years, so they'll probably need to make one every 5 years, and they've had plenty of time. I mean, they could have put the money in it. I mean, Resident Evil's a big fucking money maker, is it no? It's like Doom, it's like the Doom movies, they're fucking shite, you know? They'd put a fucking shoestring budget on it and wonder why folk hate it. follow not the game, follow the director. No, that was a fucking mistake. Why didn't Capcom? I think if I was Capcom and I owned Resident Evil, they must have some fucking power over these movies. I'd be getting some fucking executive to fucking shadow this fucking director and writing team. They're like, right, you cunts, why the fuck is this nothing like the game? Get that rewritten. In fact, it's already written. It's no fucking difficult. The games already exist and have done for many, many years. And then I'm seeing concept art kicking about of hunters that look really pretty good. And they've got a concept art of what Mr. X would have looked like, but he was all cut for the movie because budget. It's like, going to stop showing us this good shit that didn't make it into this shite movie. Because if you had some like stronger scenes, better casting, and had the Easter eggs and the references in the right place, people would be singing your praises, budget or not. Alright, the dog looked a bit shite, but yeah, I can actually forgive that. If it's a decent movie, I can forgive some dodgy effects. If your budget's no there, your budget's no there, fair enough. Blah, 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 blah. They probably paid so much money to get all the fucking music in this, because there's like famous tunes. Like that, whatever her fucking name is, shite. Crush, I'll fucking get to crush this off to fucking nip it off like a jobby and flush it like the turd that it is. I don't hate the movie, but at the same time, it could have been like 300,000 million times better with little effort. They don't need to put loads of effort into this. The main effort would be coming in and recreating the locations. That's where the real effort would come in, and getting the cast right. Because I'm sorry, they fucked up. Wesker was a pansy. Jill, Claire, Leon were nothing like their characters. Chris was a good shout. I liked Robbie Amell as Chris. I liked Ian McDonough as Birkin. He was good. I mean, the effects in his changing were actually decent, but they were wrong proportions. I mean, the eye in Birkin's shoulder is fucking gigantic, and it's tiny in this movie, and it just screams of fucking spoof, parody, joke, crapola. Anyway, right, I've rubbled and rubbered on enough, and I'll see you on the next one.